What up guys, welcome back. It's the weekend so we have a review, but today we're going to take a break away from the normal Ship Revival reviews we've been doing and step into kind of still taking that survey of the clay pomades we're starting to see pop up in the market. And we're going to do this one today by looking at the 1950s New Union Matte Clay. And this is a pomade from the Six, Toronto, Canada. And so for those of you that are located in Canada or even in the US, it's still readily available. And luckily for us this continent is still really accessible. But we're going to take a look at this one because based on the ingredients and based on what I use, it looks to be like a much cheaper and maybe even better alternative to Baxter Clay. Baxter Clay is an amazing clay pomade, but it's ridiculously priced, a total ripoff. And hence why I haven't been pushing it as hard, because spend that much money, basically spend more money than you usually do on half the amount of product you normally get is just absurd. So more so, we're looking at this product which has similar ingredients and even better scent and also pushing a normal price range for us. So we're going to be looking at this product today, and we're going to start off by go ahead and looking at the jar. This is it. This is 1950s Union Matte Clay. Comes in a 4-ounce plastic jar. Basically, with my promo code, the Pomp all caps, you can basically get this for $18 shipped in US dollars. It's going to be $25 in Canadian, but that translates to 18 in US. So cheaper than the Baxter Clay and with double the amount of product. So that's a deal. You have ingredients and directions on one side, branding again, and you kind of see this like kind of old school themed like kind of design work going on. And you have this clock on the face, so when you like turn off the cap, you're kind of turning back time, a little thing they came up with. And here's the clay inside. Very similar to the Baxter Matte Clay in terms of its appearance, and has that nice tan neutral color that we kind of recognize as a clay characteristic. But it looks nice, even looks kind of matte in the jar, but it looks pasty. When it kind of looks dry, it's a good sign. So we'll go ahead and start using it now. The scent of this pomade is actually like pretty damn awesome. I mean, the most similar thing, or what it really reminded me and Harrison of, was like the new Dove's like men's line. Kind of has that like really cologne, deep, but still fresh scent. So definitely not like anywhere towards like that natural, that essential oils, but it's definitely like a really nice scent. Because with clay pomades, especially with this pomade, which is actually petroleum based, like you do want to keep everything clean because the petroleum is going to drag it down. So you want to keep the scent clean, the feel clean, everything as dry as possible. And the scent really plays a huge role of it. But yeah, it smells amazing. And I was using it the other day and I was just like, I didn't realize that was where the smell was coming from. I was just like, maybe I smell so good, but it was just the product. Scooping it out, super easy, comes out. Definitely you can tell right away, that's too big of a scoop. It's really easy, really pliable, and right away it really reminds you of a slightly softer version of the Baxter Clay. Much softer than the Lockhart's Matte Clay as well, and drier than the new Sheer Revival like American Gardens. So it applies really easily and like no issues at all. Of course, for clay product, you're gonna try to only use as much product as you need. So you want to go in with like moderate to like small amounts at a time. Really just focusing on getting product where you need it, which is near the roots of your hair, and basically what will form the foundation of your hair later on. But as you can tell, really easy to apply. I can agitate my hair without much of an issue at all. Now this absolutely is not the case with the Lockhart's Matte Clay, and not as easy with the Baxter Clay. The Baxter Clay does offer a really nice, like immediately, like just stiff hold, but along with that, it makes it a little more difficult to apply. And also, we just got a haircut like last week, so things are pretty optimal right now. It's the best case scenario for this product. Go one more scoop and we should be good. I can already kind of smell the product kind of floating in the air. It smells real nice. This is awesome because we're starting to see a lot more clay products pop out of like everywhere. We have these like lab cooked pomades, and then we have like the home brews. Interesting characteristics from both sides so far. It's been obviously already present in the lab cooking, or rather like the lab developed world, but it's just coming about in the homebrewing community. It's already some good products, but still a lot of room for it to grow. But yeah, with everything applied, we'll just go ahead and comb it through to make sure the product is kind of just like evenly distributed. It's surprisingly really easy to comb through. I mean, we didn't see this with the Baxter clay, we didn't see this with the Lockhart's matte clay, which definitely had a lot more grip. But this is nice, it's comfortable. We'll go ahead and start styling it now, using the same kind of process we used before, styling it normally with a comb, then kind of letting it settle, coming back, and then agitating it with our fingers. We'll go ahead and call that one done, and as you can see, things actually look fantastic. I mean, it looks amazing, and I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. There's no reason to go with like the Baxter clay. I mean, we'll see the other characteristics during the day of like endurance and other things like that. But like right off the bat, like this thing styles really similar, if not even more easily than the Baxter clay. Because I mean, the consistency is like softer, and like you do get that nice like, it's like what's the best way to describe it? A clay should kind of feel like a good paste with some kind of grittiness to it, and that's what it feels like. And when you kind of start agitating and then apply it, unlike other clays that we've seen, this one's super easy into the hair. Like no pain at all. Other ones have kind of put too much wax and too much like petroleum in that, where it gets pretty sticky and it really gets a little grimy in your hair. Whereas this one's a little lighter in the way it feels, but the hold is still like good and fantastic. And this is basically the same height, the same shape, the same performance I would get out of paying double for the Baxter clay. And so I'm actually really impressed. I mean, you get like a good enough stickiness to kind of keep a general form together, but we're starting to get like nice texture. You can get a good like kind of just naturalness going about it. It's slightly matte shine. I mean, matte neutral. Neutral is basically it doesn't take away or add shine at all. But matte kind of takes away a little bit of shine. We see a little bit of matteness, and we expect that because it is a matte clay. Not that much though. And I actually prefer if it doesn't take out that much at all. I prefer neutral, to be perfectly honest, because I mean, I like my hair looking healthy, and when you have black hair and you take away shine from that, it just looks dead. And so that's what the kind of a little matte. Like I said, it has a nice stickiness that keeps it together, good texture, and most importantly, it has good control. I mean, I formed this in a really short amount of time, real easy, not difficult at all, and that really makes it a pleasure to work with. Plus, the scent is just like really nice. So, I'm actually surprisingly pleased right now. I mean, I knew like kind of the idea of like how it performs since I tried it a few times this week, but I mean, we used the 1950s before with their gel pomade. It's just pretty standard. It was good. It was good, but it's still just a gel pomade. But now we have this new matte clay, and it's like, oh shit, they're relevant now. But yeah, so go ahead, go throughout the whole day now, and I'll come back and talk to you about how well this kind of texture look goes with the Union matte clay throughout the whole day. But yeah, so see you guys in a few hours. What up guys, it's about evening now, so let's go ahead and call this one done. As you can see, like my hair still looks like pretty good. Obviously not as tall as before, not as like spherical shaped as before, but still like aesthetic. And that's the big thing about these like clay pomades. It's near impossible to really go throughout the whole day without styling unless you're using some sort of like additional product to really just set it in. Because once you kind of like style Pomp, it has a good form. Once you start like finger combing and kind of breaking it down, you're basically taking away the kind of the integrity of the Pomp, so it's gonna fall. And so what you're expected to do is kind of restyle with a pocket comb, with a real comb, or just like your fingers. And the important thing is whether it still looks good. Because, I mean, I still do have some good volume. You notice how tall it is here. And yeah, things still look good. Still actually smells just a little bit, but it always still smells good. I mean, also, I feel like the matteness has kind of also gone away. It's at a straight neutral now. The product, this is kind of the big thing now. My hair doesn't feel that, like, actually doesn't feel dried out at all. I mean, with the new American Gardens and this product, like our hair doesn't really get too dried out with the clay product. I mean, you do need it to get dried out to some extent to really get that texture and get that extra volume. But unlike Baxter Clay, unlike Lockhart's matte clay, like it's not too crazy. It's not like Suavecito Firme dry, but like they do dry your hair to some extent and sometimes to an uncomfortable extent. And so this product along with American Gardens by Sheer Revival, they don't do that at all. Also, nice thing about this product is unlike Baxter Clay and Lockhart's matte clay, those two other products sometimes harden up depending on the environment you're in. This product doesn't, and it hasn't been for any other times I've used it. So also really impressed. It stays really easy to kind of rework, and so restylability is really good. So like all in all, like price range and everything, this pomade receives no. I mean, if you won't even want to call it a pomade, I would, but depending on how they do it, this matte clay product receives my seal of approval. And we've been dishing it out, seal of approvals like crazy, I guess, this week. And almost every single product has received it. And I was thinking about it, I was like, why am I giving it to every single one? But I mean, each one has been doing like an amazing job. And it's actually because like I've been a lot more selective in who I choose to review. I've basically been rejecting most companies like nowadays, whether just based on like what I see them, how it looks, and just like my estimations of it, since I just don't have time. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna give another seal approval because I mean, it looks good. It's definitely one of the best performing clays we've actually seen, and it performs up to par with like Baxter Clay, exceeds it in some extent, but also it's much cheaper. I mean, as I mentioned before, with my promo code, you can get this thing, well, at least here in California, I can get this thing for $18 USD, as in US dollars. And that's for 4 ounces of products, whereas Baxter is like $20 for 2 ounces. And so this price point, performance, and actually almost every single aspect, I would definitely choose this over Baxter Clay and over many of the other traditional clay products. Especially just for the price, for the smell, and everything. It's definitely like your standard clay, except super affordable and super like very good balance between texture and like stickiness. And that's the big thing with these like new clay products. And so yes, I would highly recommend this. And if you're in Canada, then yeah, this is all the better because you can support something local and also something from the six. But yeah, so this has been a review for 1950s Union Matte Clay. Hope you guys got something out of it. And we'll continue to still look at new clays on the market because I do have a few reviews for clays coming up, and that's like kind of the thing the trend we're noticing right now. But yeah, take care guys, and peace.